Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here, CCxRC, and today I'm going to show you these new Freestyle RC. These are the servo mounts on axle for the CEN racing vehicles. Fits to these axles. Really cool little design that they've come up with here. You guys may have seen the video I did with the custom-made ones by Jason Saunders for my race truck here, and I'm going to leave those on there. We'll install this setup on the B50 to get that one back up and running, because this is what I sent Jason to do the design work for me on this one. But Josh Zimmerman and the crew at Freestyle RC came up with something that's actually coming to market. It's not a custom-made one like mine, but it's a very cool design. We'll show you how it works. So it's quite a bit of a run for the stock system to get from the servo, which is mounted up top, back to the transmission, to a bracket that goes back to the front to another bracket, and then moves your steering links on the front of your vehicle. They did that for a reason, because they wanted to be able to offer four-wheel steer with just one servo. And so that little middle part of the truck that this goes to, when it moves, it would allow you to attach another one of these setups to the rear end and have four steer. But we just want to have good steering for great controllability, and so that's what we're going to show you guys how to do right now. Alright, I said we were going to get right to it, but I'm going to show you quickly how this all worked. This bracket here had a screw in it that went to the axle, sat right on top there, and this bar ran back to a piece that's up inside of here. You can see it moving right here, back and forth. And so this bar went on the bottom, and then on the top you had another bar, this one, that went to your servo. And so that mounted up in here. So you're going to want to take that off, but you're going to want to save this, because you are going to use this piece when you go ahead and mount it here to your servo. That's basically what we need. All of this, really unnecessary. I'm not going to be needing it. I can show you really quick what it does look like all together on this one. Now this axle is different, and these will not actually work with this one. I thought that it would, but that bracket does not work on these two-wheel drives unless you have converted to four-wheel drive and you have the axle on it that this will mount to. But you can see right up here the way that this attaches, and it runs all the way back into here. You can see it moving. Up to the top is your servo, and then there's a bar that runs back to your transmission area where this is mounted. I wish mine was still together. It's not, and we have to work with what I've got going on here. I'm going to use one of these wrenches on here just to hold this. So I'm going to have to take mine apart a little bit here to get it set up right. And I'm going to move this particular screw over to the other side to hold it, and then I'll put a longer one here. Yours should already have a longer one here, because it already had a link that was on top because of the other bracket. But because mine's been modified a little bit, we have to do a little bit of reconfiguring. So this step won't be necessary for you. Alright, so before we go ahead and even install the Freestyle RC piece, what we would do is we would remove this screw that's here. We're going to go ahead and mount this one through. I'm going to use one from my buddy's Screw Loose company, Mike Eaton, we've had on the show before. I'm just going to grab something out of here that I think will be a better size, because I have it available to me. If you guys need screws for your vehicles, Screw Loose Hardware is an awesome company. Great dude that runs it, and highly recommend it. Alright, let's see if that's long enough. And so there you have that. That looks about perfect. I'm going to go ahead and mount this lock nut on here, and we'll call it a day on this part, and then we'll go ahead and install the Freestyle RC bracket. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and grab our Freestyle RC brackets. Come in this nice little kit with all the screws that you need to mount them, which is great. I kind of wish I'd put down my QRC mat. I'd taken it off because I was doing a whole bunch of plaster work. Here's the nice machined aluminum bracket from Freestyle RC. You can see how nice that looks. This is the part that's going to go to the axle. And you're going to want your angle to move so that it's kind of giving extra space, is going wider off the axle. Toward the wheel, basically, is what you're going to do, is have it going toward the wheel and coming to the top of the axle. Alright, so this brace is going to mount right on here to the axle. This is going to thread itself right in. It's going to be a tight fit. So if you have a drill, it's probably best. It's basically going to drill itself in. Because this is not tapped or threaded, they've used a little bit bigger screw piece here, which means that you're really going to have to kind of drive it in there. So to get it really starting to thread at first is difficult. So if you're doing it by hand, it might be a little bit of work. If you have a driver like I just used, that is ideal. Mine actually needs to hit the charger. We'll see if we can't thread this other part by hand with just pressure. Yeah, I think our best bet's gonna be a driver. This is my Black & Decker from Walmart here, nothing special. Yeah, that allowed us to get the bite we needed. So you're gonna wanna have a drill, guys, I will say that. But it allows it to bite in there really tight, which is good. We go ahead and do the other side now. Right, you can see right here, guys, where it mounts, right, these little holes right here next to the axle. So if you have something to prop it up on like this, it makes it actually really easy. And then the driver helps you to really nail that first one, get it in place. The other option would be, if you don't have a drill like this, would be to drill the axle out a little bit more. Alright, and there's our bracket. Now we should just be able to mount our servo in here pretty easily, just like so. So it does come with the screws that you need for that as well here in the kit. We're going to go ahead and put a little thread locker on them. I have it set to manual focus, so you're not really seeing things in focus unless it's right in front of the servo. So we'll get this in place. I put this on, but not yet, because what I like to do is center the servo. Alright, so that's centered. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our servo horn on here. Like that. Alright, last piece that we got to do is just put a little screw into the servo, just to hold it in place. Alright, so here now when we control it, it'll recenter itself. Lots of motion though, goes right back to center, which is what's good and what we want. Perfect. So we now have a cool looking Ford ready to go out and bash in the backyard. Alright, there you have it, guys. The servo mounted on the axles of the CEN B50 or the HL150, either one. This bracket system here comes to you by Freestyle RC. You can get it on freestyle-rc.com for $25. The rest of this is running stock parts, guys, except I did change out the arm here to a KS arm, which is also made by CEN, but that's kind of like one of their upgrades. But this is found in the upper part of the truck, what normally attaches to your servo. You just take this off of the little bracket up there in the middle, and you move it to the front here when you replace and take away all of the other contraptions here that you don't need. So when you take this away, you put this in its place, and then you install those two things. That's as easy as it is, guys. Drop your servo out of the top, and put it here and call it a day. So really happy that they've made this for us. Makes the control so much better on this vehicle, and I think you'll be a lot happier with the trucks. And it's 25 bucks, not too bad for the custom work that goes into it. And I like what Josh and them do at Freestyle RC, and I get behind their work, stand behind it. As a repeat customer with the two of their vehicles in the background, here is a Freestyle RC back here, and over here as well. The in the back there, what do I have? The Sticker Bomb 2.0, and then the ZRD. But that's a Pro C by Freestyle RC, and then that's the ZRD. And this is their servo on axle mount for the CEN system. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, hope those of you that have this truck find this very useful. It is a big time game changer for you. Went ahead and bought it first day that they announced it. Got it in the mail real quick, guys. 25 bucks can get you one too. Thanks for tuning in. Have fun RCing. Catch you next time, guys.